Hey viewers! Actually, I'm gonna start calling you lifers. I used to do that on a podcast. I used to have a podcast called Jason Loves Life Podcast, and we use the term lifers. So, hey lifers! Welcome to. I hope you like that new intro. It'll probably be the intro for the year. I've been thinking about doing maybe. I want to do one update on that, so I might do that. In the next month or two. Who knows? But it's kind of fun to have an intro. It's short, and I might think of some cool stuff to add to it, but as of right now, it's kind of fun. And these talking head ones aren't probably my most popular YouTube videos. Tangent alert! Kind of an exhausting day. Mostly just not really didn't do a whole lot, but just it's so cold that we got to keep the kids in. So I guess I spend a lot of time with the kids, which is good. But didn't get a chance to videotape. Do you videotape anymore? I didn't get a chance to record. I didn't get a chance to record any of that. So I thought today I would sit down and kind of talk a little bit about 2017. As you can see, we are in my studio, which needs to be cleaned. That's one of the things I need to sit down and come up with a list for 2017 for January to do, and cleaning the house in general. To be honest with you, we'll be doing some remodeling of our bathroom, and so we have some family members. We can't afford someone coming in, so we're gonna have some family members come in and help with that. And so we want to have the house at least clean for them to come. So that's gonna take up a lot of time. I'm trying to decide how much you guys really want to see behind the scenes, and actually that's a good question. I'll try to remember to post it at the end of the video as well, but for those, we have a lot of people who watch who don't comment, and that's totally fine. For the few of you who comment consistently, you know who you are. I really appreciate you commenting. I actually just realized I was going to do a joke, and I can't remember what it was. Oh. This is my studio / basement / storage area / doghouse. So whenever I get trouble with the missus, that's not true. I don't actually sleep down here. Well, no, I sleep down here, but on my own terms. Well, we had been talking about this last month. Last month. About, I think we're gonna do some weight loss videos, just some family videos. So I guess the question is, do you have any specific type of videos you'd like to see? We had a few that wanted to see maybe routines. They commented on the Facebook group, or they messaged me through the Facebook group. Do you want to see stuff? So I do a bunch of stuff with Frumkin to help with his autism. It's not really helping with the autism, it's just education stuff. My undergraduate degree is in psychology, and my emphasis, like where I put all my energy, was in education. So I did a lot of stuff that teachers had to do. I ended up doing, I don't know what they call it, but teaching hours, but I did it within like a classroom that was like a special ed classroom. Very fascinating. Would love to talk about sometime, because the teacher had all these kids who couldn't, quote unquote, learn in the classroom. And most of it was attention span stuff, I imagine. And the teacher had convinced them that chess was cool. So they all played chess and were really good. I mean, for middle school kids. They beat me a lot, and I was in college. So, would they make a championship? And a few of them were so into it, they were actually like getting chess books out and studying. And it was just this thing where he introduced the game, and the kids picked it up. And so when they had to do their homework first, and if they did their homework, they could play chess. And they loved beating the college kids. So there was, I think, one or two other people who worked in that classroom with us from my school, from my college. So they liked beating us. So anyways, my education in psychology. So that doesn't mean necessarily that I know more about education. My final thesis was on studying actually the education system of Switzerland and looking to see. Theirs is a little bit different with technical schools instead of high schools, and you'd have to look it up. I think most of Europe's that way, but I had friends in Switzerland, so it made sense to go there. And specifically studying like happiness around that system, whether they didn't, basically did 16-year-olds like going to a trade school instead of going to quote unquote more academic school, and they just still take classes in the morning. And anyways, sidetrack alert. Anyways, what is that something you'd like to see? I'm not saying I have any like expertise. I'm not saying I necessarily know more than the average person. I guess technically I would because I put time at school, but I don't feel like I have all the answers, I guess. I'm sort of just experimenting, and most of my stuff that I do with Frumpkin and Pumpkin is around play. And we're thinking about homeschooling. We were going to homeschool, but when Frumpkin was diagnosed with autism, which actually they're not even old enough to be in school yet, so technically, like, we're still kind of technically we could still do that, and it would be his whole educational career because he's in pre-kindergarten right now. And I would not change that because his speech therapist and I think it's a special ed teacher, whatever they call her, his teacher that only has a couple kids, and then there's like a main teacher who like runs a classroom. They're amazing, and they work really, really well together, and you can tell that they care. And so, especially for us, I don't think we would have been able to pull it off homeschooling wise, because while I feel like I can teach, I am good at teaching, it's sort of, his teaching communication skills is not my skill set. So like right now he is 4, and he can spell a few words. And one of the issues I have with me teaching is I don't really have a plan. I kind of just, because I'm doing it, well, partially because he's young. So we don't follow our curriculum yet, but I'm eventually going to create a curriculum for him. So right now he's working on spelling at 4, which I think is pretty good. I don't know, and part of it is like the kid, it depends on the child. It depends on their experience. So like Pumpkin will probably learn faster because she has an older brother who's learning. And I think even if they switched around, that's not necessarily true, because even like Frumpkin, I don't know, it's not good to compare kids, but I feel like the way I teach is good. That was a really long rant about me knowing how to teach. What I'm trying to ask in this 9-minute video is, what kind of videos do you want to see? Do you want to see on this channel? Otherwise, we will be making other channels. Weight loss, which we've been working on, my wife and I, for like 6 months and making progress. Homeschooling stuff or education, how to teach toddlers, and basically sharing things that I'm doing with Frumpkin and Pumpkin, creativity stuff, things like that. Do you have anything specific? Our home schedule, you tell us. Is there anything specific? Questions? And we have a few questions, especially on autism, that we're gonna touch on, and try to spend some more time, more than just a day working on it. So yeah, let us know. Comments. Subscribe.